Hello friends, Smita here, and this is our fourth class on TDS in TallyPrime. In this session, we will learn how to calculate TDS on professional or technical fees. Also, we will learn how to pay penalty for late payment of TDS to the government. These two things we will learn in this session. The first part is TDS on professional or technical fees. For this, we have the section number 194J. It is the nature of payment for this section is payment for professional or technical services. So professional services like legal fees or any other professional services, technical fees like computer repairing, software installation, all these things, or any other technical services. So if we are paying for such services, in that case, we can deduct TDS under section 194G. Well, the TDS rate for deduction is, if it is a professional fee, we will deduct 10%. And if it is technical fees, if you are paying for technical charges, then 2% will be the TDS rate for deduction. And minimum amount up to which TDS is not deducted is 30,000. If the amount of bill goes beyond this or 30,000, it crosses the limit of 30,000, then TDS will be deducted. So this is what the section 194J is. Now we will solve one example based on this section. Messrs. Jain and Associate raised a bill of rupees 2 lakh on 1st of November as legal fees. PAN number is given. So it is PAN number of Messrs. Jain and Associate. So Jain and Associate raised a bill of rupees 2 lakh to us. Okay. So we will start solving this in TallyPrime. So this is our TallyPrime. This is our company. Till now we have solved several examples on TDS. So we will solve this as per the steps that we have taken to solve previous examples. First, we will create all the masters, all masters. Which masters? First one is creditors ledger. Then second one is nature of TDS payment. Then third one will be expense ledger. And fourth one will be TDS on expenses, whatever the type of expense it is, TDS on that expenses. So in this example, the creditor in this example is Messrs. Jain and Associate. Nature of TDS payment will be legal fees, or you can say professional fees. Expense ledger will be legal expenses, and TDS on expense means TDS on legal fees. These are the four masters we will create. So let's start with this. Go to create ledger, Messrs. Jain and Associates. It is our creditor. So creditor, provide statutory details regarding TDS. Deductee, now we have the information that this is partnership firm. So Messrs. Jain and Associates is partnership firm. Deduct TDS in the same voucher, yes. This firm is from Maharashtra and PAN number is available. The PAN number is AKDPJ 8945K. So GST is not available for this, as this is a legal firm. There is no legal GST is not required for this firm. So these are the unregistered GST dealers. So first one we have completed. The next is creation of nature of TDS payment. So where to create? Just a minute. So nature of TDS payment will be created in this master, statutory master. Suppose we will create legal fees or professional fees. Any word we can use, legal fees. I'm creating legal fees under section 194J. Payment code will be 94J. Remittance code is not available. Value limit for a single bill is not available. Now, as this is the professional charges, whether it is individual HUF or other deducted type, the percentage of TDS is 10%. So it is 10% for individual HUF, without PAN 20%, and for other deductee also it is 10%, and threshold limit is 30,000. So this is how we have created the TDS nature of payment, that is legal fees. Next is expense ledger. We will create expense ledger, that is legal fees or legal charges. Legal charges. This is our indirect expense, and GST is not applicable on this. TDS is defined as applicable, and nature of payment will be legal fees. Is including assessable value calculation for? No, not applicable. And now the next part is TDS on expense, that is TDS on legal fees. TDS on legal fees. There it is a duties and taxes. It will go under duties and taxes, TDS type of duty, and it is legal fees. Nature of payment will be legal fees. Press Ctrl A to save. So these are the four masters we have created. Now entries part. First we will enter journal voucher, JV. Then second we will pay to government. Third we will pay to the creditor. These are the three entries we need to pass. First we will pass the journal voucher. So let's start with journal voucher. The question is, Messrs. Jain and Associate raised a bill of 2 lakh rupees on 1st of November for legal fees. Okay, so we will enter this in Tally. We will open voucher, change the date to 1st of September, and change the voucher to journal. This is payment voucher. Press F7, enter. Entry will be legal charges account debit to party ledger to TDS on that legal charges. So legal charges, legal fees will be 2 lakh credit. Messrs. Jain and Company. See, automatically it has deducted 20,000, which is a 10% on 2 lakh. As we have provided the PAN details, it has deducted only 10% TDS from the taxable value. So it is a new reference. You can provide the reference over here, invoice number 100. New reference invoice number 100, enter, and credit will go to TDS on legal fees. So 20,000 will be the TDS on legal fees. Press enter or press Ctrl A to save. So this is what we did. Now the next is payment to the government. Okay. How to pay to the government? See, to pay to the government, generally we go to display that TDS report, display more reports, statutory report, TDS report, 26Q, form number 26Q, we generally open. And first change the date range to 1st of November to 31st of November is not available. I will say 1st of October. So here is the deduction at normal rate we have. If we press enter key, it will show the party name under this section, under this clause, Vishal Jain and Associate. Now, to pay to the government TDS, that is 20,000 to be paid to the government, the entry will be entered from here itself. That is from form number 26Q. Here we have to press Alt S for statutory payment. So press Alt S, TDS it is, first 9 to 110 we will use. As this is educational mode, I cannot enter the date 30 September. So that's why I'm entering the next month first date. It is up to 110. It is up to 110 to 2022. See, it is showing the legal fees through Axis Bank. See, this is how the entry can be made. If you press Ctrl A, this entry will get saved. But I'm not entering this. I am pressing escape key over here. I am not entering this voucher. I am not paying this to the government at present. So this is our 26Q. I am on the gateway of Tally now. Now, so this is how we can exercise TDS on professional fees or technical fees. Now, our next part of this session is TDS payment with interest. So, it is the liability of the deductor to pay or deduct the TDS and deposit to the government, right? Deductor or the payer always deducts the TDS, and the amount such deducted will get deposited to the government, and this should be done on given due dates. That is, TDS to be deposited to the government to the 7th of next month, and this TDS certificate, or we can say TDS return, to be filed on quarterly basis after completion of first quarter. In the next month, we have to submit the TDS return to the government. Well, if any one of this not done, means if the TDS is not deducted, if the TDS we do not, or the deductor do not deduct the TDS and just pay out the whole amount to the party, then what will happen? If the TDS is not deducted, the penalty will be charged on the payee equal to the amount of tax not deducted. So interest for non-deduction of tax is 1%. So it is compulsory, it is mandatory, or it is good to pay or deduct the TDS, and TDS certificate to be provided to the payee. Now, if the deductor deducts the TDS and do not deposit to the government, then what? If the TDS is deducted but not deposited to the government, penalty will be charged at the rate of 1.5% per month. See, the penalty rate is 1.5%, that too per month. So, if TDS is deducted but not given to the government, not deposited to the government, in that case, per month 1.5% will get charged. On what amount? The amount of TDS. Also, along with that, it can also result in imprisonment of 3 months to 7 years. So, depending on the case, depending on the importance of that case or amount of penalty, the deductor might get imprisonment of 3 months to 7 years along with the penalty. So, it is good to have deducting the TDS and paying it to the government on time. So let's take an example that we have deducted the TDS but not paid to the government. In the example just now we have gone through the example, we have entered the journal voucher and I have not entered the payment of TDS to the government, right? So in the above example, we deducted TDS on 1st of September and deposited TDS to the government on 2nd 11. That is, we deposited on after 3 months. In the month of September, we have deducted. So not in the September, not in the October, we have deposited amount on the third month, in the third month, that is 2nd 11, 2nd November. So such a delayed payment. So we have we have deposited 20,000 as a TDS deducted, and along with that we need to deposit some penalty also. So penalty will be calculated at the rate of 1.5% per month. So pass the entry for delayed payment to the government. So we need to find out first the amount of penalty and then we will pay to the government. So let's start with this. How to calculate the penalty? See, date of deduction is 1st of September. Date of deposit is 2nd November 2022. And TDS amount to be deposited is 20,000, right? We have deducted 20,000 as a TDS from the legal fees. So total months to calculate for penalties from September to November. September is the number one, October 2, and though it is in the start of the November we are paying, we have to add this month also. So September, October, and November, 3 months penalty needs to be paid to the government. But how much interest or penalty amount will be there? So how to calculate? The formula is number of months, then multiplied by amount of TDS multiplied by penalty rate. So number of months will be 3 and penalty amount is the TDS amount is 20,000 and penalty will be on at the rate of 1.5% on quit this 20,000. So penalty amount will be 3 months into 1.5 50% of 20,000. So 1.5 into this, that is 900. So total penalty to be paid to the government is 900 rupees. So this needs to be entered manually. Rest of the things can be done automatically. So go to TallyPrime, open your 26 form number 26 Q, display more reports, statutory reports, TDS report form number 26Q. Here first we will change the date period, that is Alt F1, 1st of 9 September to, suppose we are paying on 2nd 11, so we will change the period up to 2nd November. Now from here we will enter Alt S for paying the TDS amount. Select the proper statutory details for paying statutory amount. So tax type is TDS from 1st of November to 2nd of 11, that is 1st of September to 2nd of November, deducted till date 2nd of November 2022. Section 194J, nature of payment is legal fees. Deducted status, select all items. Cash or bank, we will pay through bank. See, by default, it is showing the amount of 20,000 to be paid to the government as a TDS. But to add more amount as a penalty or interest, what we have to do? We press enter over here. Our cursor will appear, will go to total part. What we have to do? Just press backspace over here. When where cursor is on total part, press backspace from the keyboard. Now it is on the TDS on legal fees part, then press enter. It comes on the second ledger to be selected for extra working. So we need to and create one more ledger, that is interest on TDS, we can say, or penalty on TDS. Any ledger you can create. So I am creating interest on TDS. Interest on TDS. So this is our, either you can select it as an indirect expense, or you can have the interest payable on TDS like this. You can create as a current liability. I'm paying it immediately. That's why I'm selecting this as a indirect expense. And do not apply GST on this. Also do not apply TDS on this, because this is a interest or penalty ledger. It doesn't attract the TDS or GST. Now, after selecting that ledger or creating that ledger, it opens the second screen where you have to provide this type of extra working or extra amount is for what? It is for interest, late fee, other or penalty. It is or upward rounding. Suppose any paisa amount is there, if you are rounding it up, we can use this extra working amount and can select the list of types of payments. So here, this is our late payment, or we can say penalty it is. So penalty it is. So this extra amount is type of penalty payment. How much it is? We have calculated as 900 rupees. So 900 rupees, enter. If there is any other expenses or any other payment to the government, we can add the same, and then go to total. Provide the details of bank through which we have paid this challan. I'm keeping it as it is. See, it is showing one uncertain transaction. Why? It is showing uncertain transaction because we have entered the payment to the government voucher, but we have not reconciled that payment voucher. So to reconcile, provide all the details of all the receipt numbers and all. Enter the enter this clause, that is bank details are not available in payment voucher. Enter, select the voucher and start providing the details. So this is the voucher through which we have paid TDS on legal fees along with the interest on it or penalty on it. We paid through DD, suppose. So check number is whatever the check number is available, dated 2nd 11. BSR code, it is a 7-digit numerical number. Challan number, challan date is, again we will use the same date, 2nd 11. We paid through bank Axis Bank, branch is from Mumbai branch, or you can give the specific name of your branch. Enter, enter. So this uncertain transaction is removed, and here we can see we have paid in the paid section 20,000 we have paid, and other penalty, interest or late fee, penalty, other payments is showing as a 900 amount. So paid amount and 900 amount, so total 20,900 paid for this particular transaction. So this is how we can pay interest on TDS payments. We can calculate the TDS amount, calculate the penalty amount on TDS, and can enter the TDS payment with interest. So, we have done with this. We paid amount to the government along with the penalty also. Now we will pay to the creditor. How much to be paid to the creditor? Let's see. Suppose we paid on 2nd 11 to the creditor. So we'll open the voucher. It's a payment voucher. Either you can go enter through single entry mode or double entry mode. This is the single entry mode. If you want to change, press Ctrl H, convert it into double entry mode. We paid on 2nd November. So enter date, payment to the Measures Jain and Associates, total amount to be payable. See here, we can see the balance, current balance. So just pay 1 lakh, enter 1,80,000, or you can make a part payment of it. Enter, and provide the bill allocation details. So it is against which bill? Invoice number 100. Credit will go to bank account, that is Axis Bank. We are paying through Axis Bank. Now in this way my bank is showing in balance in red because I have entered only payment entries, no income I have entered through this in this tally file. So whatever it is, we have used Axis Ledger for paying to the party. Narration will be being amount paid to the party. Now, if you want to take a TDS certificate printout, how to take TDS certificate printout? We have to open that particular voucher, which is the payment to the government. So display more reports, accounts book, ledger, TDS on legal fees that we have paid on 31st Jan. Okay, no problem. And take a print. How to take a print? Either press Alt P, select current. Otherwise, directly press Ctrl P and press preview button. As we have paid interest on this, it is showing income tax 20,000 and penalty or whatever that 900 rupees. The reason we have selected was penalty, so it is showing as a penalty 920,900 is the total amount paid to the government, and this is the TDS certificate that we can provide to Measures Jain and Associate for deducting 20,000 TDS. And to take save the copy of form number 26Q, we will go to statutory reports, TDS report, open 26Q, change the date period 1st of September, just a minute, from 1st of September to the last date or monthly basis you can select. So I am taking it till 2/11, and what we will do, we will press Alt B to save the return. Here is the Alt B to save return button. So click on this or press Alt B from the keyboard, and it will ask, do you want to save the return? Yes, press yes. Then it will get saved. And where to check all the saved reports in the TDS report? Here is the option return transaction route. We have earlier saved one TDS forms 26Q. It was one of the form, and this is another form. So if it is modified, it will show it is modified or not, whatever. So this is the way how we can have the 26Q form saved on the PC, or we can say we have this 26 form saved in our TallyPrime. So this is how TDS is deducted on professional or technical fees. And if it is not, if the TDS deducted is not paid to the government on time, it attracts 1.5% of penalty each month. So it is good practice to deduct the TDS on time. Also deposit the money to the government on time. And if it is not deposited to the government on time, we have to calculate the penalty amount, and penalty amount is always calculated with this formula: number of months for the penalty, amount of TDS, and penalty rate. All these three numbers should get multiplied so that we can get the penalty or interest amount. See, number of months can be calculated from the date on which it is deducted. We count it as a number 1 month till the date of deposit. If the date of deposit is the first date of the any month, we have to count that number, count that month as a one more month for calculating the TDS penalty. So this is how TDS for penalty, TDS on penalty can be worked out in TallyPrime. So let's stop over here. Just go through the session. So try to solve all the questions in the questionnaire, and also practice the calculation of penalty and entering the voucher through form number 26Q. So let's stop over here. Thank you.